know you must travel, I know you're wrong. It's born in the blood that you're far, far from home. We wish you safe passage and hope that you're well. Send us a postcard from the world. It's green in the garden, the sky mostly blue. Your friends have come over, they ask after you. We tell them your stories and say that you're fine. We miss you most of the time. One of my first songs that I recorded actually was from these hills. It's called Moon in the Maples. And since that time, I've written quite a few songs about the Gatineau Hills. Number of stories in the Gatineau Hills seems almost endless. It also has influenced me as a place of peace and quiet where I could come back to. I did a lot of touring, sometimes putting on 60,000 kilometers a year, traveling around Canada. So coming back to Chelsea and the Gatineau Hills, the old soul of the Gatineau Hills was always, it was home. That's what it was. Right now I'm using about 5 or 6 guitars, depending on the performance. If I'm doing my own songs, well, then I'm informing my own work. But a soundtrack for a play, well, it's what the play or the soundtrack demands in terms of its sonic. So it ranges from project to project. I tend to be fairly driven and project oriented. So if one door doesn't open or if one avenue of exploration isn't open, then I'll go to another one and see how that's working. I was not particularly successful academically. I basically was unable to do anything else. It wasn't a matter of choosing it, it chose me, is what I could do. I could play guitar. I can't really sing, but I've managed to make a career of it. I do write about conditions of the heart. All the projects I've done are like children. And some have been quite nasty, but maybe you love them more for that. If anybody said, well, that project didn't work, well, I would defend that project much longer than I would one that was successful. Each project that I do is an imperfection. Keep on working. We need people to come together and support each other and champion each other in their different fields of work. I think that's really important, and it kind of goes against the Canadian character because we're humble and we tend not to boast about ourselves, but to some degree, I think we should. Art and music is important for the same reason that it always has been important. It illustrates that we have the time beyond just working and going to bed and getting up and working again. The fact that there has been time to do art illustrates, in some sense, a luxury, but it is a necessary luxury to show our humanity. If I was giving advice to a 22 or 23-year-old, I probably wouldn't. If I noted that their commitment to what they were doing was destined in some way, that they had no choice but to do what they were doing, then I wouldn't give them any advice because they pay no attention to it. I just get down to the work and go, okay, how are we going to make this work? But at the same time, there's two things. One, think laterally, and if the door that you're banging on doesn't open, then look for the one that swings.